Did I not have the microphone on? Okay, we're going to try that again. I thought I had the microphone on. Hello, it's Friday, February 11th. It is now 8:04 p.m. and outside it's about 2 degrees Celsius with a splash of rain. And welcome to another Friday Night Live. I feel like deja vu. I've already screwed two things up. One, I didn't have the back or the intro video formatted correctly on the screen. And now I just left the mic on mute for 30 seconds or so. What a proper dumbass I am. But anyways, welcome. We took last Friday off as there were some interesting things going on outside. So rather than stream from home, I decided to hit the pause on that and go outside and stream from mostly around Queen's Park area. And I think that was worthwhile. We had a lot of viewers there and it was a pretty interesting stream. But the situation's pretty calm tonight and I don't really see the need to go out there and stream. So what I'm going to do is play all the videos that I recorded a week ago for that stream tonight. So I kind of had a bit of an easy week this week. I didn't have to prepare that hard for this one. I only did one live stream on Wednesday night. I apologize for that, but hey, we're here. And in the chat, I see Williams here, Estelle, Duncan, Polly, Sanjay and Kingston, Alex Gets Around, Errol, Deborah, Clayton, Ali BHG, Susan Fong, Zach McNally, Hayrie Park, Marie Palmer, Brad Palmer, Pete Sabetki, sorry if I got that wrong, Janet, and everyone else, Aniko, Estelle, Michael Nguyen. If I keep reading names, we'll be doing that all night. Thank you and welcome to another Friday Night Live from home in Midtown, my home in Midtown Toronto. So what we're going to do is we're going to play 3 videos tonight, all almost filmed in successive order. There's one chunk that was missing. That was actually a video I uploaded earlier in the week. And hopefully the microphone's working. I can see the meter working now, so that's good. So I just want to remind everyone to just quickly check the rules of the chat. There's really not a whole lot to it. Don't say anything hateful and just be respectful to one another. Don't insult or try to degrade anyone. Otherwise, one of the mods will be quick to time you out and on a repeated offense, show you the door. I just felt the need to reiterate. Please follow the rules in the chat. And other than that, we're just going to hang out and keep it kind of chill. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm by no means obligated to answer, but I'm pretty much an open book. So if you want to talk about Toronto, ask anything about me, ask anything about YouTube, now's a good chance to do that. I also hang out on Sunday night on my Johnny Stumbles channel, which is another avenue where you can hang out with everyone. And speaking of Johnny Stumbles, I do have a refreshed 24/7 live stream on that channel. So a lot of people from this community sort of pop on and off from that throughout the day. So if you just want to kind of hang out and chat, or if you just want to throw something up on the TV, play it in the background without having to think about what you're playing, you just want something to fill the void. I know one person who leaves it on to entertain their dog while they leave the house. So there's an idea for the 24/7 stream. If you've got a pet and you just want to have something to keep them a little bit stimulated, turn that on. Lower the volume because I think my voice will probably get to them at some point. We're going to fix that soon. Those streams are going to become quiet for a while. But anyways, without further ado, let me stop jibber jabbering and we're going to play the first video. And let me turn off the weather here as well. And I'm sure I have a bunch of messages on my phone from people telling me, hey, your volume is not working. I figured it out. So this here is Main Street Station. So for this one, we're going to walk from Main Street Station over to Victoria Park Avenue and then down to the Bingham Loop. My original plan for this one was to go ride the 503 streetcar, and I was going to record the 503 streetcar for the entire length of the trip. Sorry, did I say 503? I meant the 506. But when I got to Main Street Station, I realized the 506 isn't running. They're running replacement buses. So that's when I pulled an audible and I decided to walk down to the Bingham Loop. And there at the Bingham Loop, I was going to catch the 503 streetcar and just record that. And that was what I was going to play tonight. But when the streetcar rolled in and I got on, the windows were filthy and I couldn't get a clear look outside. So I stepped out of the streetcar, and then I decided to record a video that was the video I uploaded yesterday. So that one I walked along Kingston Road. I went down through the Glen Stewart Ravine and all the way to Lake Ontario, where I got my feet soaking wet, which you'll see part of that on this video when I was down by the lake. But yeah, there we go. And happy birthday to Pete Sabetke. Happy birthday, Pete. Thanks for joining in and being a part of the channel. I'm no longer singing happy birthday to viewers. I think I made enough people go deaf doing that, and forever tarnished the human reputation for singing, if that's possible. But we're going to have a Creemore Premium Lager. Yes, I'm still working on a 6-pack of Creemore. This is a Canadian brewed beer. It's 5% alcohol. And this is probably going to be it for tonight. There is a pretty good UFC fight on tomorrow night. Israel Adesanya is fighting Bobby Knuckles. So there'll be more of these tomorrow night. Duncan says, would anyone in the chat say Toronto is expensive for tourism and eating out? There's a good question. I think for tourism, you can do the hostel thing, but budget hotels in close range to downtown Toronto are few and far between, so it's not the best. You can just go to booking.com and see hotel prices yourself. But if you want to do things on the cheap, there's plenty to see and do that's free or won't cost you a whole lot, right? You can go to the islands. You can go to Tommy Thompson Park. There's free days at the art gallery. There might be a free night at the ROM starting again soon if they haven't resumed it. So if you plan your schedule around free stuff, and there's plenty of cheap and free, not free eats, but affordable eats as well. So I think the big cost would just be transportation, getting here and hotel, but you can definitely do it for a relatively low cost. As someone who travels cheaply himself, so that would be my input, but maybe someone here can give some better input on that. Somdab1971 says Maine and Danforth had the first racetrack in TO. Mike T said his wife was reading an article about the truckers on BBC and noticed me and Ken in the background on one of the pictures. Mike T, would it be asking too much for you to put that in? Oh, if you put a link in the comments, it's gonna, or if you could just say what the title of the article is, or send me an email, johnnystrides@gmail.com. I think that would be awesome. I'd love to show that on my Sunday night stream, and I'm sure Ken would get a kick out of that as well. So if you could somehow send that my way. Unfortunately, any kind of link is going to be blocked. That's just because there's a lot of bogus links out there and scams and malware and viruses and that sort of thing. So links don't get through, but if you could somehow just give me the name of the article and I could find it, that would be pretty awesome. And Duncan says we got snow earlier here in Scotland. Hopefully it clears up in April in Toronto for you coming to visit. Yeah, it rained today and it was like 4 degrees. So I think a lot of the snow turned into dirty brown slop because of that. And we're at 199 viewers. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and subscribe on the other channel, Johnny Stumbles. I'll be going live and I'll try to have some more content on that video as well. Chris wishing Pete a happy birthday. So now we are walking east along the north side of Danforth Avenue. And when I get to, this is an area known as Danforth Village, and when I get to Victoria Park Avenue, I'm going to turn south. And I think these sidewalks would be much, much better by this point. I saw a lot of snow clearing crews out, including some in the studio district where I was today recording a video. So I'd imagine this would be a lot better. Clayton says, pissy, mushy weather all day. And you're showing 240 viewers. Oh no, my thing is incorrect. And Nico says, what is your favorite subway line of the TTC? I'm going to say line 1A. That is, 1A is an unofficial designation I gave it, but that is from Union up to Finch. Because that's the line that takes me home. Even though I think it's closed again this weekend. Is it? TTC service advisories. Subway service. Planned subway service closures. Line 1, St. Clair. Lawrence to St. Clair. Closure February 12th and 13th. You just closed it last week. When are we just going to be able to live with this line never closing? Because for years and years and years, it seems as if every other weekend this damn thing is closing and we're taking shuttle buses. It's pretty obnoxious to say the least. Maybe RM Transit can weigh in on that. He probably has contacts to talk to the right people. Ali BHG says, spamming is repeating the same message over and over. It is, or it's also advertising something. I think that is also spam. And Nico says, really, so often, seriously. I think there's signal upgrade going on, and they're working around Yonge and Eglinton at the crosstown interchange. So I think those are the excuses for closing it, but it's just obnoxious at this point. William says 1 day to go to Hyde Park. I'm sure I'll be back, probably sooner than later, actually. I have a list of places to go live stream from, and Hyde Park is on that list. Alex says that would be line 1B. No, it would be line 1A. The 1A, 1B extinction or distinction is not official. So as I determined with RM Transit, Yonge is 1A. It's also the logical 1A. It carries far more people. And if you were going to lose one of the two lines, if you were forced to shut down all the subway lines but one, you would, the winner, the one you would keep, would clearly be the Yonge Street one. So that's my opinion on that. Ty says, when New York City? I went in August, actually. It was great. I didn't make any videos. I did appear in a video from Action Kid and a few of his live streams as well. Are you coming to London? I would love to go to London. Hopefully this year, but we've still got all these just really ridiculous travel restrictions right now. Like, I think we're the only country on earth asking vaccinated citizens to do a PCR test coming back. And we're still making people isolate until they get a test result. Like, it's kind of the Stone Ages in Canada when it comes to travel. And even own members of the party in power are speaking up against it. Doctors all over the country are speaking up against it. And for some reason, we're holding on to these nonsensical travel measures. And it's just the most frustrating thing in the world. And for me, I would love to go out and travel. I'm actually kind of in the process of planning a little vacation in March. That'll be more of a vacation than a filming thing. And then hopefully when I get back, I can start planning some more stuff out to some wild and far places. Bring the camera, do some live streaming finally. But these nonsensical travel limitations, which are kind of killing the Canadian tourist industry both ways, going in and out of the country, for whatever reason, remain in place. And I think we're at the point where it just doesn't make any sense that we're still clinging on to these. Anyways, you get the idea. I'm not very happy about that. William says, I'm his favorite YouTuber. Oh, it's a pleasure and an honor, William, to be your favorite YouTuber. You're one of my favorite fans. And I actually met you. Yeah, Susan, who knows? That one doesn't bother me so much. It's just if I went to the Caribbean and came back, or if I went downtown every day and rode the subway and went shopping, like, what is higher risk? They're probably the same. Maybe it's even higher just to stay in your own country. It doesn't make sense, but just my opinion. Aniko agrees with William. Thank you, Aniko. Clayton, not a political commentary channel, but I think he's just doubling down on, he's just stubborn and he's not going to let go or admit he's wrong on something. What the scribe says, used to be an Eaton store in this mall. Very handy. I did not know there used to be an Eaton store all the way out here. I guess department stores were a bit more common outside of, they were kind of anchors in smaller malls. Like I can think of several in Etobicoke actually that are no longer around. There's one called Honeybee Mall where they had a big department store as an anchor. Brad says Sunday is the best day because Marie loves fishing. Harjot, Johnny, one time you've been on a subway ride with your family. Neat. Susan says it was cool and awkward to meet you. Maybe it won't be so awkward. Well, when you met me, you met Ken, you met Megan, you met Bevy, right? There was a lot of us there. Only Eaton's not downtown or in a suburban mall. Have you done any videos on hikes in Toronto? Says Mox. I've done the Yellow Creek Trail. I've done the Glen Stewart Ravine recently. I've done a lot of the ravines. That's as much as a hike that we have. Tommy Thompson Park, I guess you could go on a hike. I've done bike rides through there. Maybe we'll get out and do something around the escarpment at some point. Lisa Palmer says she tested negative earlier. Thank God, yeah. Well, congrats on that. Clayton says I don't want to be timed out for 5 minutes. As long as you don't break the rules, I mean, no one's going to time you out. Somdev says you walk fast. Yeah, I do. I don't measure my speed when I walk, but I tend to start moving my feet and I tend not to stop until I've overtaken everyone. Preet says, hey, love your videos. Lisa Palmer, hey Johnny, things suck these days, eh? Hopefully they won't suck in a few months from now, but yeah, we're living in the past here in Canada. They suck from a travel point of view, but for the most part, life's pretty good. It's pretty normal. But some things don't make a lot of sense. But thank you again for the $5, Lisa. I'm waiting. Oh, I didn't have the notification on. My bad, Lisa. Or the notification alert. I had it set to the Johnny Stubbles channel. Strike 3, Johnny. You've made 3 big mistakes tonight. That is strike 3. Cedric says, are people from the U.S. visiting Toronto? I would say the amount of American plates I see is way, way down. It's not even close to what it's been in prior years. And I think a big part of that are the silly restrictions that are in place right now at the border. Like, an American coming here isn't endangering us at all.
Hey, Johnny, things suck these days.
Oh, there we go, Lisa.
Hey?
So it's kind of... yeah, it's kind of killing a lot of industries, and it's taking a lot of life out of the streets. I kind of like seeing different license plates and seeing where people are from and that sort of thing. Yeah, there's a lot less Michigan and New York plates. You used to see tons of those everywhere, and you'd see some Maine plates as well. I think people would go into or in through Quebec and drive over. Vivian Johnson. Ooh, that's scary. And hopefully, did you get the new TV all sorted? Did you get your cable figured out? And hopefully you're negative. You think so. You've had no symptoms. Well, you can go to Walmart and pay $35 and get a free rapid test, right? Janet says she was going to say I'm in Scarborough now, but I'm still in North York. If I crossed the street, I would be in Scarborough. Wouldn't I? As Victoria Park, yeah, we're now going south. I kind of took interest in this house. I was looking at the wrong screen that had passed, but Victoria Park is the border between the former borough of Scarborough and the city of Toronto. So you were right. I'm in Toronto, but on the other side of the street is Scarborough, which would also be in Toronto. Clayton says I have Earned a whole dish of, or a bowl of fried worms. Used ketchup. Lots of protein in worms. Thank you, Clayton. Good point, Marg. Do you think that would have happened? Well, congrats, Vivian. Now your new TV is all set. You won't miss any streams or premieres anymore. Well, I hope so, William. I hope you don't delete it. Glenn Warner is here from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Welcome to a very laid-back Friday night stream. I'm kind of thinking of going outside tomorrow and streaming. I don't really know what's going on. There might be a big protest. There might not. No one really knows. The police are ready for it. The city's geared up for it. I don't know if that's even what I would be live streaming or where I would go, but it's on the table to do a possible live stream either tomorrow or Friday. Tomorrow or Sunday. All right, Pete, thank you. Thanks for stopping by and happy birthday. Vivian Johnson, thank you. I've got the lights on extra glow tonight, so I'm kind of trying not to squint as I look at my monitors. Devin Taylor watching all the way from Lake Charles in Louisiana as I walk down a very snowy and icy sidewalk. Clayton greeting those in Louisiana from Canada. Alex says, and on Sunday, the Rams take on the Bengals for the biggest sporting event of the year. Yeah, I'm thinking of... yeah, I am kind of glowing. Let's see if we can fix that. Let me change the lights here a little bit. How's that? A little less glow? I should look a little bit warmer now. I just changed the color temperature. Is this better? Is this a little more natural? Let me know if this is better or if the other one is better. All right, William, have a good night. I'm thinking of doing the Sunday Night Stumble stream before the Super Bowl. So before the Bengals win it all. Sarah says, no, it's fine. All right. Marie says, yes, you look tanned. So it's better that I look tanned? I've got the lighting on a slightly warmer setting now, which I didn't adjust for the green screen. Ali says, I like the other one, but it doesn't really matter. Vivian says, you look like you're in sunshine. Do you like the NFL? Yes, I play fantasy football. I won last year, but I did not win this year. My big money league. Yeah, that new stadium in LA is pretty fantastic, actually. Boardwalk Brad, Bengals winning this weekend, $5. I agree. The feel-good story of the year. Thank you, Boardwalk Brad. I'm a Bengals believer all of a sudden, like a lot of people. I was kind of hoping that we'd be rooting the Bills on Sunday, but I can go for the Bengals.
Bengals winning this weekend.
Bengals winning this weekend. I don't think you pronounced it right. Marg H says, Johnny, saw one of your old vids today where you helped a lady in a wheelchair across the street. You were a good guy. Was that at Dundas and Sherburne? Because they completely fenced off the northeast corner of that intersection where that lady would always hang out, and I saw her many times. And there was always two ladies there hanging out in wheelchairs. And sadly, one of them recently got hit by a vehicle and passed away. I learned about that on Reddit, but I don't think it was the lady that I pushed, because I pushed the wheelchair, not that I pushed her, but I went back and checked those videos, and I found both of them in several of my videos. So kind of a really sad situation happening there. Is it a coincidence that in the year of the Tiger, the Bengals are in the Super Bowl? Not sure if the Bengals in the Tiger family, but it's close. I think Bengals are, they're a kind of tiger, right? I think, is the Bengal the biggest or is the Siberian the biggest? I think the Siberian is the biggest. But both of them are bigger than the biggest lion, I think. Jeanette, $7 for an IPA during the Super Bowl. Thank you, Jeanette, for the $7.
Or an EBIT during the Super Bowl. Winking face, beer, American football.
Winky face, beer, American football. That shaped football is just as much Canadian as it is American, and we actually paint stripes on ours. The first game of recorded football was recorded, I think, between Harvard and McGill University. So it was literally half American, half Canadian, if you want to look at it from that point of view. Boardwalk Brad says use that money for a juicy ass IPA. Thank you again, Jeanette, for your super chat. And thank you, Boardwalk Brad, for yours. And Lisa Palmer for yours. And I continue south down the east side of Victoria Park Avenue. So today I went out and I got 2 videos recorded. And I'm not sure, one of them will be tomorrow morning's video. I'm not sure which one. One of them is the studio district. The other one is a downtown video. So I've already edited and rendered them both. One of them is uploaded. I'm gonna upload the other one right after the stream, and then I'll flip a coin and we'll see which one goes tomorrow.
Johnny rocking the Creamore, that's my go-to beer.
Boardwalk Brad, thank you again for the $5. Boardwalk Brad, Johnny rocking the Creamore. That's my go-to beer. I love me some Creamore. I bought a 6-pack of it, and I've only been drinking it on stream, and I've always liked Creamore. Billy was from Ohio, where he was born and raised. Rob LeBeau used to live on Victoria Park. Can you check airline videos? He's an LA plane spotter. Can you save that comment for the Sunday night stream? That way I share my screen on Sunday nights and I can pull up different YouTube channels and we can talk. Although this Sunday will be a Super Bowl edition, so it might be a little bit shorter than usual because I'm going to want to A, watch the Super Bowl, B, not compete with the Super Bowl. I think that's just the smart thing to do. I'll be your Super Bowl pre-party, I guess. Johnny, what is your favorite non-old Toronto neighborhood? Says Connor. That's a tough question. I'm kind of partial to like New Toronto. I like that area out there. That would be, since it's east of the Humber River, that would count as Etobicoke. Not a fan of the transit there, but I like the lake. I like the vibe you have on Lakeshore there. Royal York is a pretty good area. But if I had to live somewhere, I would want to be on the subway though. Yeah, I would just live in Willowdale. I'd bite the bullet with Yonge Street there. I think Willowdale would be the answer, if that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. I'd much rather be here in Midtown, but Willowdale it'll be. Frogy Rant says, how many gigabytes of data do you go through in a month? I used to go through about 115 to 120. But I've been live streaming a lot less from outside. And I used to live stream for like 2.5 hours. Now I do 1.5 most streams. And I only do it 2 or 3 times a week. This week 1 instead of 3 or 4 times. So I've been doing like less than 65 but I can do more than that. I do have plans that let me do more than that, but I think about less than 65 in the last two, in the last few months each, at least. I'm just reading some of your messages. Connor likes Willowdale and Don Mills. Susan says Willowdale and Newton Brook. Newton Brook is kind of a work in progress. We'll see how that's playing out. There's a lot of construction. There's no... The subway's all the way down at Finch. It hasn't been extended yet. So I'll limit it to Willowdale. Cynthia almost applied to McGill. However, I would say Pape Village is pretty cool. If I lived kind of south by the Danforth, and like because the border of East York is just north of the Danforth. So since we're saying not Old Toronto, that might be one. Yeah, Pape Village, but the very, very south end of Pape Village, where I can walk to the subway in the Danforth. I think that would actually trump Willowdale. Thanks for talking me into it. Danny G. Vids says, how's Rexdale? I haven't been out to Rexdale in a long, long time. I will be for sure going out there and doing a video in probably spring. I just have to get my ass around. Taking 10 hours of TTC buses and transfers to get there, but we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll just go to Kipling and pop on a bus. That seems like the best way to get up there. Do you have multiple phone plans? I do. I have a Bell plan and a Rogers plan and a Freedom plan, but I don't stream with the Freedom plan. Although I'm kind of tempted to get rid of one of the two and just use my Freedom as a backup. And the video is done. We made it to the Bingham Loop, ladies and gentlemen. We made it to the Bingham Loop. And I was going to get on, like I said, the streetcar there and record the streetcar ride, but the damn window was so dirty and mucky. I decided not to do that. So instead, we're going to flash forward to right after I got my feet soaking wet at Lake Ontario. And for this one, I'm going to walk from the lake up to A&W, where I changed my socks. And then, let me see one thing here. And I had my lunch. All right, video number 2. This one has some of my better cinematography. Eugenate says, are you watching the Olympics? No, I am not paying attention to the Olympics at all. I don't particularly agree with the Olympics being where they are or us sending. I don't want to make it political, but this is one Olympics I'm checking out of. No, sorry, athletes. I know you put in a lot of work. But like a lot of people, I'm just not giving a rat's patoot about these unethical games. And I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I'm not going to go in there, but there's one thing the athletes were asked to do that is beyond the pale, in my opinion. Okay, let's play the game. From the Beaches to Queen. The fact that people, like, that should be a controversial opinion, right? But it's not. More and more people I speak to these days are just, like, none of my friends are following it. And when I say why, I've had this conversation. And they say the same thing. I don't agree with what's happening. So we'll just leave it at that. We'll try to keep this stream positive. And we're at Lake Ontario in the freezing cold. And I'm going to walk north and head up to A&W. No, I have not, MC Bytes. Maybe I should just disappear and shut up so you all can enjoy this. Is this better? I think it's better without me. As you hear my chair squeaking. Well, I got to come back. Boardwalk Brad asked a good question. Johnny, who has the best fast food poutine? The best fast food poutine would have to go to New York Fries. as a former fry jockey who worked there. Real fresh potato fries. Real fresh cheese curds. Their gravy is horse shit. It's like powder mixed with water. But they got 2 out of 3 right. So I think that's by far the best poutine. Cowboy Hippo says you disappeared like magic. I originally read that as like Magic Mike. Okay, relapse. Alejandro says no, it's better with you on the screen. MC Byte likes Costco poutine. As I pick up my Galaxy S20 FE and I contemplate buying the S22 Ultra, which just came out and looks amazing. Actually, looking at an article about that right now, and I got a link to the BBC article. Awesome, thank you. Now your email, apparently I'm in the background. Hey, I am. How the hell did you notice that? That is crazy. We are like these tiny little specks in the background. Wow. I'm going to share this on my Sunday night stream for sure. Somdev says, did you get a $1 coffee from AW? No, I did not. What does the FE stand for? Fan Edition. If you want to see it ahead of time, the BBC article is called Truckers Defiant as Ottawa Protests Grind On. 4 days ago. You could search for that. Now I'm going to lose all my viewers to a BBC search. And as I was walking along the beach here, both of my feet were completely soaking wet. And it was below 0. So imagine how cold my feet were. Joanna, 279. Happy Friday. Thank you very much, Joanna.
Friday.
Thank you for your very amazing support. Mike T says it was the missus that saw it. She's pretty amazing. That is remarkable. Like, we literally make up like less than 2% of the screen. I can't believe that that she even saw that. I'm going to send that to Ken as well. Chris Mill says soakers suck. The funny thing is, here, I got to take myself off the screen. Look how beautiful that shot is. Why would you want me to ruin that with my stupid face on the screen? I'm in a picture Boardwalk Bread. MC Byte likes how the townhouses in that area are beachy. Yeah, they've kind of got a bit of a cottage country vibe to it. And when I was walking on this ice thing up here, all right, I'll put myself back on. I almost ate shit and wiped out. It was kind of a stupid idea to try to walk along this. Gertege, it is Lake Ontario. Naughty, it was not a... Hello, I'm still here, but I'm going to disappear so you can see this. It was not a video, it was an article. Aw, Marie Palmer, wake up. This was pretty stupid of me to be walking along this. It was super slippery. My feet were already soaked. I'm also holding a camera with one hand, so my balance is a little sketchy. Rowan says, love your walks. Johnny, will you walk down the aisle with me? I'll escort you down the aisle to your prince or princess or whoever's waiting for you at the other end. Sure. No harm in that, right? And now I try to scale my way back south. This isn't smart, children. Don't try this at home. Jeanette says she wishes she were near the water. I'm going to send these pictures to Ken. Thank you again for the link. What are the odds of that? Like, all day long, all those people there, and we get caught in a picture in the BBC of all places? That is frickin' hilarious. Well, because Ken lives in a very different world than the rest of us, I couldn't send it to him over WhatsApp. I sent it to him over the miracle of SMS messaging. Firestyle says, hey Johnny, have you been watching any TV shows lately? You finally started Money Heist on Netflix. I've now seen the entire season 1 of As We See It on Amazon Prime. And that show is like a 9.5 out of 10. It is one of the best shows I have seen, and one of the best cast shows I have seen. It's an amazing, amazing show. So go watch As We See It on Amazon Prime. What else? I'm watching The Righteous Gemstones on, it's an HBO show. That is pretty awesome. And those are really the only two. I'm going to start watching Love is Blind, I think, tomorrow night. I'm going to get into that. Dahlia Mendes says, where did you get your chair? This chair? This is just a cheap Amazonian gaming chair. You can't even buy it anymore, actually. I've replaced the armrests, and I've replaced all the feet. Bevy is here. Bevy YHZ is here. Hello, Bevy. Happy Friday. Boardwalk Brad casting a vote for the Outer Banks. The Ottawa Wanderer says that was reckless. I got some good footage out of it. If you're talking about me, come on. You can't possibly go for a walk along that part of the lake and not want to go there. Syed says, hi Johnny, back here after many months. Many months. That is too long. But welcome back. Firestyle says, thanks for the recommendations. I'm trying to think, what else am I watching? As We See It, there's a show called Rami on Stars that is pretty good. What else? Pretty good, but not amazingly great. There's one on Crave called Pillow Talk. I watched the first episode of that. I'm going north up Kew Gardens Park here, by the way. So I'm going to head up to Queen Street East. Marg H says, is House of Gucci worth watching? If you like Jared Leto doing a Mario impression for 2 hours, it's worth watching. I personally couldn't stand it. It was like a slow movie. But it was gorgeous at the same time. Wasn't a huge fan of Lady Gaga acting either, but that's just probably me. It was a pretty good story. I already knew the ending ahead of time, so I wasn't really surprised. I would say pass. But he says The Gilded Age is good, so is Love Life on Crave. I'm not even familiar with both of those. LDBHG says Lady Gaga. Am I the only one that Doesn't like it when she acts. Stick to singing. Just my opinion. Don't kill me for it. So I think I'm gonna run into some sidewalk snow removal coming up. Look at this squirrel in the tree. Look at that. There's some first class nature photography or videography here. He wasn't even fazed by me either. Estelle said it went on too long. I think every single movie, the director should always make a 90-minute version. I don't care if your vision is 4 hours or 3 hours. I don't care if I miss out on most of the stuff. Just, it should be mandatory. Make a 90-minute or less version for those of us that can't stand the idea of sitting through a movie that long. What movie? One time I was walking down Front Street when I lived downtown, when I lived in the St. Lawrence Market, or the St. Lawrence neighborhood, and it was pouring rain, like torrential downpour. And it just so happened I had nothing to do that afternoon. And I didn't have an... Oh, Jeanette, $5. Johnny, good night. Johnny and friends. Gotta be up at 4:30.
Smiley face. Gotta be up at 4:30 a.m. tomorrow. Sun, rooster.
4:30 a.m. tomorrow. Jeanette, thank you for the $5. Have a good night. And thank you again, Jeanette. So I was caught in the pouring rain without an umbrella, and I didn't really have anything going on. And they were playing a Pirates of the Caribbean at the Van Rainbow Cinemas, which was like a budget theater. So I went in, I paid my like $6. I went down, and I started watching this movie. And after 40 minutes, I was like, okay, how long is this movie? I pull out my phone. You don't have cell phone signal down in Rainbow Cinemas. So I went all the way up. I still had no signal. I asked the guy, and he was like, he told me something that was way too long. I looked outside, and it was raining less. And do you think I went back down to finish Pirates of the Caribbean? No. I just decided to go out and walk home in the rain because I thought the movie sucked, and I hate long movies. It was a stupid idea. I never should have tried to see it. So that's my story. What a dumb story that was. But I was trying to be like, you can go see a movie alone. There's no stigma there. People do it all the time. Let's go see a movie alone. I'd never done that before. I thought I was being cool. Also, it was raining. Everything lined up perfectly to go see a movie alone. And I picked Pirates of the Caribbean. What a dumb decision that was made. Lisa says no, and you're better off for it. You can't stand Johnny Depp. He pretty much just plays the same role in every movie, right? Alex says he hates long movies too, would not watch the entire Titanic. Wasn't it JFK? Remember when VHS movies used to come on multiple cassettes? Like, you knew you were in for a long night when your VHS rental came with like a stack of cassette tapes. Chris Mill says pirates are overrated. Estelle loved Titanic. I boycotted Titanic. I refused to see that movie. I eventually did see it, but I only saw it once. FM303 says, have you ever caught any raccoons in your videos or coyotes? I read in Blog TO there's more of them around at the moment. You know what? I have never... I've seen a few coyotes. I've never recorded one. And I think I've caught a few raccoons here and there, but... I think they're very, very nocturnal. So we tend to see a lot of them late at night. You don't really see them out in the day that often. But I have not seen enough. Lisa's favorite movie is Twister. Clayton likes pirate movies. Ebrin boycotts these Olympic Games. Join the club. I have also boycotted these Olympic Games. Not to be political, but I'm very disappointed that they're even happening. I'm just reading through some of your chats. Chris Mill says not enough pirates in the Titanic. And we are at the north end of Q Park. I'm going to cross the street here and go in and get out of my soaking wet socks at A&W. Gertedge owns Titanic in 3D. Oh my god, I didn't send... I didn't send that pic to Ken. I sent it to an old coworker of mine instead by mistake, and he was just like, "What is this? Why are you sending this to me?" Oops. And we're done. I made it into A&W. So for the final video of tonight, I'm going to exit the A&W. So all three of these are in sequence, except for that one missing chunk where I recorded a video that was uploaded for yesterday on this channel. Lisa says, pic? Yeah, it was the picture of me and Ken at the protest last week that was in the BBC, which is hilarious. So I'll be sharing that on my truncated Johnny Stumbles stream on Sunday. But let's get the third video up and running. So now I just had a Beyond Meat combo. Why did I eat Beyond Meat? Because I am a meat eater? Well, there was a coupon. That's why I had the Beyond Meat combo. If you put a coupon on anything, as long as it's not fish, I am likely to cash in. So this one I'm actually going to walk for a bit along or through the Beaches neighborhood. Then once I get to the end of the Beaches neighborhood, I flag down a street. I don't flag down a streetcar, but I hop on a streetcar. Novell says I'm late because yes, I'm competing with Linus right now. I actually used to watch the WAN show until I started doing this on Friday nights. So I know what you're talking about, Novell. I just explained to my friend why I sent him a random picture. He couldn't even tell that was me. Dave in Bangor, Maine says there hasn't been an A&W around here in decades. Maybe that's a good thing. A&W is very different in Canada than the US. We have the burger family here. You guys don't have the burger family. You don't eat the mama burger. There hasn't been an... Sorry, I just started to read your question again. Ooh. Did you catch the fire truck being stolen in the beach? I have no idea what you're even talking about. Alejandro says, I don't like fish either, or much seafood. Yeah, I am with you on that 100%. Matthew here. Hello, Matthew. 7090. What is Beach Mall? That is tiny. I don't know, MC Byte. I see it every time I walk by, and it reminds me of, like, there's these tiny little malls in, like, those beach towns in, like, Thailand you see. In, like, the strips. And it kind of reminds me of one of those places. Although I have a feeling it's going to be quite different. Some lady stole a fire truck. That is awesome. No, I did not catch that on BlogTO. Is that on BlogTO? How do you steal a fire truck? Canada-US border announcement expected next week. Could make travel easier. Do the damn international borders. Just open it all up. If you're vaccinated, who cares? Antigen test is good. We don't need that PCR nonsense. Just do what the rest of the world is doing. It's so stupid. I don't see this fire truck thing. When did this happen? Do I have to search fire truck? I just searched fire truck. Video shows Toronto pedestrian walking into fire truck. I must have missed it. I did not, Clayton Crawford. Not yet. Alejandro says yesterday. Oh yeah, that dog. I don't know, but I have never heard a dog make those sounds before. But it did not seem... It seemed very stressed out and anxious, right? Like, those were sounds of distress. So, I don't know. Maybe the owner was only out for a minute. Some dogs are just like that. Like, if the owner ditched it for a long time, then that's cruel. But if it was only a minute or two, I think that dog's got some issues to overcome. And maybe it's for the best that they were left out for a minute. I don't know. I don't want to judge other people. But, yeah, that was a weird weird, distressed sound coming out of that dog. But yeah, it was definitely something you don't hear too often. Fire trucks generally don't have keys. Yeah, I imagine that would be a bit of a pain in the ass. Hey, there's an emergency. Do you have the key? No. Do you have the key? No. I guess we're going to go let that house burn down because no one has the key. Is the barking dog still down the hall from you? No, the barking dog has disappeared. I don't know if the people moved out or what happened there, but I now have a neighbor that throws shit against the wall. I think they're throwing a ball. I hear it like go thump, then I hear it like it's bouncing on the ground. And then I hear another thump and then some bounces, and they do it randomly all throughout the day. I'm almost thinking of getting a decibel meter and just like recording how loud it is so I could lodge a proper complaint. And I don't know. Is that... I don't know. How do you deal with that type of thing? Do you just go over there and be like, hey, stop doing that? Do you call the building and tattletale on them? Do you collect proper evidence that they're disrupting your ability to reasonably enjoy your apartment? Or do you just deal with it? I don't know. I haven't yet made a decision on that. Toronto passed Chicago in skyscraper count. Yay! But Chicago still kicks our ass in good skyscrapers. We definitely beat them in poorly built glass boxes, but Chicago is definitely a better skyscraper destination, even though we have more of them. We can't even begin to rival Chicago, in my opinion. You can download an app to measure decibels. Yes, I have one on my iPhone, actually. I downloaded it because I had this idea. Maria walks. You have a deaf cat. Oh. Well, very good on your neighbors. I think if we all knew the situation, like with that dog crying, like if maybe it was a rescue dog and it's been through some trauma and like, you don't know, like, let's not judge, like, unless you have a bit more background or you've seen that, like, very distressing sounds from the dog, but there might be a reason for it, right? Y'all passed Chi-Town in population in 2016, I think. Yeah, Toronto is officially, well, at least in terms of eastern cities, we're number 2 to NYC. Skyscraper and population and a whole lot of that stuff. Do you have any recommendation of a downtown bar to watch UFC tomorrow? Says Cian. UFC's, there's a Fox and the Fiddle at Yonge and Wellesley that I had a friend who lived at Carlton, and we used to watch UFC there. I imagine Kraft, just north of Yonge and King, would be a good place to see it. I think they would surely have it. But other than that, I don't really know. I tend to just watch UFC at home these days. Chris Mill says, ask them first in a friendly, neighborly way. Knock on the door and ask to stop the noise. Why don't I leave passive-aggressive notes on the door? How's that? MC Bite? Yeah, but we have our fair share of problems too. Like, we have a housing crisis. We can't build proper density in areas where it's needed. But yeah, I guess relative to Chicago, we're pretty good in all categories except skyscraper awesomeness. And I think Chicago did their waterfront better than ours too. But he says watching the Super Bowl on Sunday. Maybe if you tuned in on time, you would know the answer. But yes, I'm going to probably do my Sunday night stream before the Super Bowl. The Stumbles Sunday night stream. And we continue to walk east-west along Queen Street East on the north side. I'm almost out of the Beaches neighborhood, so I'm going to hop on a streetcar pretty soon, and we're going to sail over the Queen streetcar, but it's going to take me to King Station. I was on that streetcar earlier today as well. Boardwalk Brad says Toronto needs more affordable housing. We need a lot more affordable housing. And we also need more medium density housing. FM 303 says the Fox and the Fiddle should have it. It was where me and my mate used to watch the UFC. Yeah, I used to go there too, back in like the GSP and Anderson Silva days. That's where we'd always go watch it. Yeah, Regent Park is... I'm curious because I don't really like those master planned neighborhoods. They don't feel like they grew organically. And in the past, when we've had those large scale master plan neighborhoods like at Alexandra Park, St. Jamestown, Regent Park, they never age well. And I think that's one of the concerns with City Place. And I think that might be a concern with the new Regent Park and the new Alexandra Park. I think it's much better to give different parcels of land to different developers and let them each try to outdo each other rather than a sea of blandness with like a fake community. I don't know. That might just be me. Ebron says Chicago is an awesome city. Why did Nightbot delete your message? Why did Nightbot delete that? Nightbot. Ebron, I agree. If Dana doesn't want to pay the fighters, why should we pay 75 USD for a pay-per-view? Boardwalk Brad says the ice condos is a disaster. Lol, have you heard the horror stories? Yes, the elevators, the constant fire alarms, the fact that every other person in there is there because it's an Airbnb and not an actual condo, which is a shame because I like the ice condos. I like their impact on the skyline. I think they're sexy buildings. It's just a shame that they're just full of problems, right? Like, I'm not a huge fan of the South Core. I think it's overly gray and sterile, too much concrete and glass. But I kind of like how the ice condos look, but everything about them screams nightmare, in my opinion. Kathleen says Nightbot is angry. COVID Hippo says the ice condos are a horror show. Yeah, they are indeed. Victor, good evening. I am well. We are no longer, well, I have like a sip left, Creamore Lager. And I'm going to hop on the next streetcar that comes, and we're going to take that along Queen Street to Parliament. And then the Queen streetcar gets diverted south to King Street. I think they're still running the 501 bus along Queen, the 501L. And then I'm going to take the streetcar along King Street. And hopefully I got a clear-ish view out the window, because earlier when I tried to board the 503, the window was disgusting and I couldn't get a clear view on it. Ebron says, yeah, thanks, Dana. That's why you gotta watch Bellator, Ebron. You gotta watch 1FC, Ryzen. Stick it to Dana. UFC is not the only legit game in town. Watch PFL even. Eagle FC. Okay, now we're scratching or scraping the barrel there. You're cooking a steak dinner and Bernice sauce with asparagus. I'm just reading some of your messages here. And now, for the rest of the video, we're just going to cruise on the streetcar with a south-facing view. I think the south-facing view is better, even though you often get traffic in the way. Whenever you see the camera do that, that's because I'm knocking it into the window. Bevy says, what are your thoughts on the new Galaxy S22? I think it's a decent upgrade. I don't think we're getting the good one, though. I think for the first time ever, Asia and Europe are getting the good one, and we're getting the lesser one, because the one they're getting has the Exynos chip, which gives them the RDNA 2 graphics support, and we're just getting the lowly Qualcomm edition. But I think if you're going to do that, the S22 Ultra is the way to go. I don't think it is a... Ken just... I cannot repeat what Ken's message is to me after he saw the pictures of us that I just sent him. But, yeah, I'm going to keep that one between me and him. Boardwalk Brad says the World Cup is coming to Toronto in 2026. Yes, thank you. An ethical World Cup, unlike the next World Cup, which is in stadiums built by not so ethical labor, right? Hey, if we're boycotting the Olympics, we can boycott the next World Cup too. Susan finally tried Belly Busters and their hoagies. You'll send me one, Naughty. You'll send me one what? Bevy has sold 3 pre-sale of the Ultras. Yeah, the Ultra. My problem with the Ultra is the corners of the phone are like jagged sharp. There's already people complaining that like phones just aren't designed for the human hand, right? Like whether it's an iPhone or a high-end Samsung, like they're just slippery as a bar of soap. Like this is a super fragile device that is very expensive. And if you drop it, there's a good chance the screen is just going to crack. Like, why aren't these made out of plastic again? It's way more durable. You can texturize it, making it way more comfortable. I really, really, really hate the metal and glass approach of smartphones and the built-in battery. I think it's stupid for a design for something meant to be held in the human hand, right? Like, this is not comfortable. This isn't something... Basically, if you don't get a case with a grip, you're playing with fire. I think we can thank Apple for this idiotic design trend in smartphones. It's like a couch that looks pretty, but is not comfortable at all to sit on. Like, I can't stand that either. Who wants, like, have you been to, like, a high-end furniture store and seen their couches? Ooh, that looks nice. Ooh, $10,000. Then you sit on it, and you need a chiropractor. Design stuff to be used in everyday life. Just my opinion. There's a little rant for you. But yeah, not a fan of modern smartphones and their stupidly fragile and slippery materials. Good night, Ali BHG. Have a good night. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for modding and your support. And thank you to everyone for tuning in. We are down to 268. We are losing viewers, but it's all good. We know who the true fans are, the hardcore ones. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like, all that fun stuff. And again, I think on Sunday night, I'm going to do a pre-Super Bowl stream on Stumbles. Mike T wrapped the back of his phone with an adhesive vinyl made for vehicles. It gave it some grip. That's neat. I always buy these like really thin cases because I hate bulk, but they've got that rubbery, grippy texture to them that I quite like. But yeah, I am kind of tempted by the S22 Ultra. I just hate that it's so jagged and sharp in the corners. Yeah, he points out the Russell Hill car house. Yes, you used to be able to see a lot of the old school streetcars there. That is true, Victor. Yeah, Spigen, they didn't... These ones aren't Spigen. I actually found these ones on AliExpress. And I just ordered a bunch of them. I have 2 S20 FEs, but... I don't know. The next phone is still up in the air. Susan wants a Nokia C6. You want a keyboard phone. Was it on... Whoever the heck Sarah Jessica Parker's character is on the new Sex and the City, she still uses a BlackBerry with the keyboard. It's OtterBox quality at Dutch gal prices. Hey, if you buy an OtterBox, at least they give you like a lifetime warranty on that case. Next stop, Leslie Street. Marg bought her slippery Samsung, a glow-in-the-dark cover. It's great. Lights are off, but wow, there's the phone. Hey, I guess you got to cover it up when you go to sleep, right? TV DXER says, you're the best, Johnny. Thank you. I didn't know that. Rowan, have a good night. Thanks for dropping by. You too, Lady Moonlight. Thanks for dropping by. Have a good night. Bevy wants a Galaxy Flip 3. I think I'm done with Samsung. There are too many shady things with that company. Make great screens, though. Susan says she's no longer Carrie. I think she's still Carrie. I never really watched the first Sex in the City, and for some reason I watched the refresh. It was pretty good. I have some interesting observations about it. But whatever. Everyone's like, there's no Sam in it. Where's Sam? Like, I didn't even know who Sam was. Lisa likes her Pixel. Yeah, but they are not good streaming phones, unfortunately. Alex gets around, is tired but not leaving. Good night, Joseph. Lisa says my viewing history is quite varied. I watched the new, I don't want to say his name wrong. Like, I know how to say it. I watched the new Aziz Ansari, I think that's his name, his new comedy special from New York City on Netflix. Huge fan of him. I loved him in Parks and Rec. I loved him on Master of None, season 1 and 2. Master of None, season 3, probably the worst piece of crap I've ever seen in my life. But huge, I'm a huge fan of the guy. I love everything he does. And he's got a new special on Netflix, just a 26-minute stand-up comedy special. So I watched that last night, and that was funny. And I was in the Comedy Cellar in New York City a few months before he filmed that, and the MC of his show was the same MC at my show. And I sat in the first row, so I thought it was kind of cool that I was watching him, and I went to the later show in hope that there might be like a special guest or something after. So yeah, I know he got canceled, so to speak, which is why he wasn't even in season 3 of Master of None. I think the whole situation was kind of BS. But yeah, go to Netflix and watch that. Great, very funny 26 minutes. I absolutely love that guy, and I hope he does more stuff. Lisa says, you check out Murderville. Yes, I only watched season 1, though. I still have to, or episode 1 with Conan O'Brien. Episode 2 was with Marshawn Lynch. And, oh, you just, you just confirmed. I was like, okay, he's a great guy. He gives some of the best interviews in sports. Like, total straight shooter. No BS kind of guy. Like, to the point where it's hilarious. But I can't picture him acting or doing improv. Like, he's done some... I think he did, like, a big Pepsi commercial. And, like, the joke was, like, he can't act. Like, you know, other athletes at least can kind of sort of act. So I have no idea how that would... I guess they were thinking... if they took the most straight-laced person with zero acting ability and put him in that show, that it might be fireworks and it might work. But you're kind of telling me terrible improv actor and possibly the ugliest guy on the planet. So I just lost my hopes for that. After the Conan episode, like, nobody can follow up Conan, let's be real. There's very few people on planet Earth. Maybe Dave Chappelle, like, who could follow up Conan? But Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Jerry Seinfeld, who could follow up Conan? Not many people, but I'm not looking forward to the Marshawn Lynch episode then, but I'll sit through it. They're not that long. No, I only saw the first one. SHH wants to see Sharon Stone. That'll be an interesting one. I didn't know she could do improv, but she's a hell of an actor, even though... Am I the only one who every time you hear Sharon Stone, you just think of...
Johnny, you ever consider doing professional stand-up?
That movie and that scene? The Witless Scribe. Johnny, have you ever considered doing professional stand-up? No, I have not, The Witless Scribe. But thank you very much for the $5. It is super appreciated, sir. I think stand-up comedy is an art, and it's an art that we kind of got away from the last few years because... I mean, there's a craft that needs to be worked on, and it needs to be worked on in front of a live audience, and they just weren't able to do that. But yeah, I would never even think of throwing my hat into that ring. But, you know, I can be a jackass sitting on a live stream at home on a Friday night. So here we go. Thank you for the $5, though. Oh, I just bumped my camera into the glass again. Novell says, I never found Seinfeld all that funny. Yeah, I guess some people do that. they see. I think Seinfeld's hilarious. Bill Burr is hilarious. I love Bill Burr. I would. He's got the best ranty yelling voice of all time. I think. I don't think. Just when he gets up, like excited and upset and yells on stage, it's quite funny. He's like the. I'm trying to think of this. He's the total opposite of someone else. Clayton Crawford says, I can follow up Conan. No, I can't. Nobody can follow up Conan. There's a reason why Conan was in the first episode, because they want to put their best foot forward. And they want viewership to be up on that. But did you know the Kids in the Hall are getting a new show on Amazon Prime? That will be hilarious. So I'm quite looking forward to that. Legendary comedy troupe. And they said they're bringing back most of their original characters, like the chicken lady is coming back. I don't know. I hope they don't bring back Cancer Boy. It just seems kind of like it's in very poor taste, even though as a kid I thought it was hilarious. So interesting decisions to be there or made there by Lauren Michaels, but they are bringing back the Kids in the Hall. Amazon has already, I think they've already done or finished filming it. If not, they are filming it, and they're filming it in Toronto. And they've got the original 4, so I'm super excited about that. Is Bill Burr released or related to Joe Burr? I'm not sure about that. And as we look out the south end of the window, I think I'm in Riverside now. I'm just going to go to the washroom. I'm going to be back. I'm going to call a spade a spade. But thank you again, the Witless Scribe, for your super chat. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This ride will come to an end when I get to King Station, and Estelle, have a good night. But I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Thanks.
Next stop, Broadview Avenue. Next stop, Carroll Street.
And we're back. It's funny you point out the Opera House, Lisa. I walked by the Opera House today. I did a walk through the studio district. Chris Mills says that's where you get your cannabis. I haven't gotten my cannabis in quite a while. I've still got a pretty good stash, though. But no, there's a place in the Danforth where I tend to get it from. Just reading some of your messages. I did see the, what's it called? The comedy club up on Danforth, where the Second City are now temporarily calling home. I walked by that, actually, on this video. I'm surprised I didn't mention it. But that looks like a fun place to go, where I haven't been, and didn't even know it was there. Studio south of Eastern. On Eastern, the so-called studio district. I don't think all the big studios are actually in the studio district. All the ones on Commissioners in the Portlands, I don't think that counts. Hey! This channel just hit a milestone I was not aware of, but we have broken 15 million views. So thank you, everyone. That is a hell of a lot of views. And I'm sure if it wasn't for all of you in this chat right now, that view count would not be at 15 million. I'm sure it would be quite a bit lower. So thank you very much for your support and for watching. Yeah, Pinewood Studios isn't just massive, Lisa. It's the biggest film studio in Canada and one of the biggest in North America. But yeah, I just got a notification saying, hey, congratulations on 15 million views. So thank you very much. Maria Walks, Hayrie Park, Sanjay in Kingston, Alex Gets Around. Henry says that's us. Marg H, Chris Mills. What does YouTube? They sent me an email, but what does YouTube say my actual view count is at? If I change this here to lifetime, it says 15.0 million. Oh, it doesn't get granular at that point. It just says 15.0. But thank you, everyone. Yay! We just hit a milestone. Oops, sorry, that was the beer talking. And we hit one last week, too, as I crashed my way through 70,000 subscribers. We're at 71,476. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Witless. Thank you, Brad. Remember when North... Yeah, I remember that. That random lot in the Portlands. That festival needs to come back. I've only ever been to it a few times, actually. But thank you, Gertej. Thank you, Nivea. Harjot. Nightbot says, follow Johnny on his Instagram account. I've been slacking on Instagram. I must be in downtown now, right? Where are we? We're across the street from a car. Let's see if I can recognize where we are. I think we're on Queen Street. I have not yet turned south on Parliament. But the streetcar is about to get... Yeah, this definitely looks like Queen Street East. Is it? Yeah, there's no way that's King Street East. We're on Queen Street East. So we're about to turn south and head down to King Street. Thank you, Susan. Bevy can't wait till I get my silver plaque. Otto Walks is going to get it. His numbers are crazy, Marg H, but his numbers are very driven by the protest, which looks like it's going to be defanged by the recent announcement that we're now in another state. I thought we were already in a state of emergency, but now we're in another. How many state of emergencies can you be on? But I'm curious to see what happens to his viewership as this continues, and what his long-term trajectory is going to be like in terms of views of his videos. But hey, man, good for him. Like, something amazing from a view standpoint of view. You can agree or disagree with what's happening all you want, but from like a just going out and pointing your camera at something and getting all those views, like, good for him. That's pretty awesome. So congrats to him. But he's over 100,000 subscribers now, so I guess he's eligible for that silver plaque. City Knights says hi. Greetings, Silver City Knights. With the scribe says, will success spoil Johnny Strides? Yes, it has spoiled me greatly. I'm sitting in a tiny corner of a tiny... If only you guys saw just how small and cramped this space. The green screen is like a foot behind me. I've got these two big honking monitors like a foot in front of me. I can't put my arms anywhere without hitting a mic or knocking something over. I'm clearly living in close quarters to a lot of stuff. Not the super good life. Bevy says, I don't think he earned those subs. I think he did. He had a moment to take advantage of, and he did. Like, let's be real. If that was Toronto, I would be out there doing the same thing. Ken would be out there doing the same thing. We had a chance to do it last week, and we did it. I don't know. I don't watch his stuff. I don't know if he's giving like a commentary, but just to point your camera at something and show people what's going on, there's no harm in that. So good for him. I mean, like, he found lightning in a bottle and was smart enough to capitalize on it. I mean, if you've seen the super chats he gets like $50 super chats like every 10 minutes. Like, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. So he's got this dairy cow that he can milk. Like, milk it. Good for him. I see no harm in that. And we all know that's going away probably very soon. Probably within the coming days, right? So, hey, it's up to him. But his chat is running rampant with garbage. He's just letting, yeah, I can't really comment on that. That part. Yeah, we'll just leave that at that. But yeah, I think he never live streamed before, and he didn't have mods in place, and he didn't have rules in place, and he didn't even have like Nightbot set up to like instantly whack a lot of stuff. So he kind of just got hit with a tidal wave, and I guess he's just rolling with it. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about that stuff. But yeah, good for him. Maria Walk says, earning subs for me is making content people want to subscribe to, but then you build an audience for that content. Maybe no one knows what that looks like afterwards. Yeah, I think organic growth is the best way, when people find your channel naturally and then hit the subscribe button. And in his case, I think a lot of those people, I think what's going to happen, he's still going to make videos and he's still going to grow, but he's going to lose subscribers. He's still going to attract new viewers who want to see the walks around Ottawa. But so many people are going to be unsubscribing when they realize, why am I getting notifications for this channel? It doesn't show what I want. So when he gains like 5 subscribers in a day, but he loses 100 because all these people are clicking off, that's where I think it's going to get interesting, right? Like psychologically, how do you deal with that? Do you keep going on? What do you do? I don't know. It's going to be fascinating to watch that channel in particular, because his channel's been on the news. Like they talk about it on the news. It's like huge all around the world now. It's like crazy. So I'm kind of really curious to see how things go long term, because the viewers coming for it now are definitely not coming for that kind of content in the long term. Art Norman, junior author, congratulations on 15 mil. You got an ebook for me titled Holly Weird Yorkshire Publishing, based on a decade in Hollywood, on Amazon. That's your book, Art Norman Jr. Cool. If you pop into the chat on Sunday night, I can actually pull your book up and we can take a look at it on the stream together, like I do with a Medic's Minds book. Marg H says YouTube will take back the plaque. Maybe. I don't think they will. But hey, good for him, I guess. I don't think I would be out there 4 days a week, but I would certainly be streaming downtown at least 3-4 times a week. Maybe not milking it as much as him, but whatever. And I'm kind of hoping nothing happens tomorrow. I'm kind of hoping tomorrow's just, because I'm thinking I only streamed once last week, so I'm thinking I want to stream tomorrow, and it's probably going to be a downtown stream, but I've kind of got my fingers crossed that there's no commotion going on and we can just have a normal stream and hang out. But we'll see. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. That's for sure. Mark says they are talking about him on the radio today. They said he's a lawyer. How can he be a lawyer? He spends 8 hours a day outside, like live streaming what's going on in Ottawa. That is crazy. But hey, good for him again if he's a lawyer. Cam McMaster Music says a lot of one-hit wonder YouTube channels will be gone shortly.
Next stop, Sherburne Street.
Well, this channel has been a very, very... How many videos do I have? Oh, I can't check that. But I think I'm like way over 1,000 videos on this channel, and I'm over several hundred on the other channel. So hopefully, I mean, I don't even think I'm a hit. Semi-hit, mini-hit, but hopefully I'm not a one-hit wonder. Bevy says another convoy here tomorrow. Last week's was lackluster. Yeah, I think Ottawa is very clearly leading the way on that front. Sanjay says, how does he stay warm being outside for so long in Ottawa? If you were getting $50 super chats every few minutes, I think you can handle the cold. I think you would buy some heated gloves and move on. Pentland says, I found Autowalk streams good for finding out what's happening. Yeah, I think there's an inherent bias with the way the media and even politicians report things. So it's kind of cool to see it from a, like, what's going on the ground floor. Like, that's what me and Ken tried to do last week. Like, I'm not here to, you know, color your vision one way or the other, but if I can just show it with the camera, because it's kind of unique to see that, and let you see for yourself what's going on, I think that's the best approach. Yeah, I saw a lot of the city's dump trucks, Mark. They're all lined up on University. Harry Park says, how many hours do you walk a day? Curious. Yesterday, and very few. Today I walked, I think, maybe an hour and 45 minutes. Last year, I was averaging like 30,000 steps a day. Now I'm down to like 23,000 steps a day. So I think that's maybe a better measure, because I tend to walk fast. Like, if you're a slow walker, what you walk in 40 minutes is like, shouldn't really count as 40 minutes, because for me, that's like an hour and a half, right? So, or sorry, what you walk in 40 minutes, I do in like 25 minutes. I got it backwards. So I think steps is definitely the better measure than time. At least if you're like measuring how much someone walks, because, you know, I don't know, I just think it's almost cheating if you walk slow. So step count. Victor says you should stream live tomorrow, Saturday, Johnny, at least an hour. You are so funny. Thank you, Victor. I was thinking of streaming downtown tomorrow. It's Saturday. Typically on weekends, I try to do downtown. Lisa says, any counter protests planned? I wonder. Yeah, I don't like that term, counter protests, because it's kind of confrontational. I think it's more productive to just support like healthcare workers and say, hey, you know, I think protesting people that, like, there's such a mixed bag in the convoy, right? There's people there that genuinely just want the mandates to end. They genuinely just want the restrictions to end, but they're vaccinated. They don't have a racist bone in their body. And then you get the people who are walking around with Trump flags and walking around with vaccines or poison signs. So, like, how do you counter protest that, right? Like, because you've got reasonable mixed in with batshit crazy all in one protest. Maybe protest, don't shut down the highways, don't shut down the borders, don't, like, I don't know. I don't know. I just think the word counter protest for this situation isn't, I don't know. Hey, why are we talking politics? Anyways, you get the idea. Matt says, evening. I followed you since I knew I was coming to Toronto. I love the channel, but in honesty, I left once I asked for help in any correspondence for meeting new people. Just hoping you're Matt. I'm not sure I got the end of that message there, but glad you enjoy the channel. Lisa says, and don't tread on me flags. Yeah, I think my honest opinion of that protest is if they said, hey, crazies, stay out. Anti-science people, stay out. Trump supporters, stay out. Bill Gates 5G people, stay out. Don't come show that poisonous, toxic shit. And if their message was simply, we love Canada, lift the mandates, I think a lot more people would be willing to step over the line and say, okay, oh, by the way, don't shut down the borders. Don't block highways. Don't make it so the citizens in Ottawa can't fall asleep. Like, if they just basically flushed out the crazy, I think they would have a lot more support and common ground with the Canadian public instead of this, you know, stepping away from it saying, yikes. Just my observation or my opinion. That's all. That's all. I don't want to piss anyone off or rub them the wrong way, but we're all the way near the end of the stream anyways. I'm just reading your messages here. Hate to agree with Ford, but you go home at the end of a protest like last weekend. Yeah. What happened in Toronto was good. It was peaceful. Things went well. People behaved. People went home, like you said, at the end of the day. It was very large scale. Like, but that's not what's happening in Ottawa. I guess I have mixed feelings over what's happening in Ottawa, but hey. Lisa says, how about the Blue Jays? Yes, how about the Blue Jays? Cedric says, we love you, Johnny. Thank you. Alex says, maybe I'll run into you tomorrow. Maybe. You've already been on one of my streams before. Cam McMaster Music says, I think the CBC are painting the wrong picture and not helping the situation at all. Well, I hope me and Ken helped paint the right picture and showed people what's really going on, at least in Toronto. That was the idea. Chris Mills says, spring training likely to be delayed. Hey, if we can't fill up the Sky Dome, we might as well wait, right? We might as well wait. And we are almost at the end here. I'm going to head down to the subway platform here. Thank you, Matt. I deserve more viewers. No, I have the right amount of viewers that I deserve because everyone has free will. I see my little rant there cost me 4 subscribers. I have my subscriber count in real time, and I just lost 4 people. Sorry, they must subscribe to Bill Gates wanting to mind control everyone, right? Hey, people are allowed to do what they want. And there goes a train. Sweet. Matt is resubbing. One less. Thank you, Matt. Thank you very much for your support. And we're just going to hang out here, I think, until the train comes northbound. Novell says, perhaps I'll consider resubbing. Hey, everybody is welcome here. Even if you think 5G signals are bad for you, you're still welcome here. Just respect people in the chat. That's the only ground rule here, right? We're all human beings. Treat people with dignity, and you're allowed here, even with your crazy ideas. It's all good. It's all good. I'll say it. Inclusivity doesn't start by excluding people, right? Sanjay says, we like the rants, Johnny. Thank you, Sanjay. Here comes. Where's the subway train? Marie Palmer, thank you. Marie Palmer, you are a superstar. Like, honestly, when I fire up a stream and I see some of the familiar faces in it, it just makes me feel good. It's like seeing a friend. It's really weird. But when, especially at the start of the stream, you start to see people saying hi, and you see those names, or someone you haven't seen in a while pops in, like, it's such a good feeling. So thank you so much for dropping in. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I might stream tomorrow. I might see you. I might not. Matt says, if you fancy a drink over Hyde Park. Hey, I might take you up on that. Thank you. Dr. Scopify says, I usually don't watch the Super Bowl, but you might this weekend. Has a beverage ever frozen in your hand while you're outside? No, I don't think so. The Witless Scribe says, another Oscar-worthy performance. First you want me to be a stand-up comedian. Now you want me to be an Oscar actor. Matt used to be Boris Johnson. Oh, I know who you are. I remember. You get a weird memory of people based on their... You even had like a Boris Johnson avatar, right? All right, Nivea, good night. All right, Alex rocking the Panasonic camera. TV DXER is still subscribed. Hey, we just gained a subscriber, 71,475. We're making up for those 4 people I lost. More to come. Ditching the subscriber train when they watch the replay of this. Hopefully they don't stick around to the end. Thank you, Marco. Boardwalk Brad says, look, there's someone behind you. By Oscar worthy, he means Oscar the Grouch. Ha! That's my Elf laugh right there. I think Elf had like the best laugh in all the TV. Prove me wrong on that. Prove me wrong.
Line 1.
Thanks a lot, Hayrie Park. Have a good night.
Please stand
We
clear
have
of the doors.
200 and some odd viewers. Thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll probably do this again in a coming Friday. Maybe not this next coming Friday, but I will at some point. Cam McMaster Music, $1.99. Hit the like button, folks. At the buzzer, Cam McMaster Music. Thank you very much for the $1.99. Chris Mill says Nelson Muntz. Ooh, that's good. Nelson Muntz or Elf.
Police station.
I think Nelson Muntz's laugh was probably inspired by Elf.
Hit the like button, folks.
I think so. I don't know. Well, Susan, have a good night. We can just sit here watching the same stock footage that I totally didn't buy at all play in the background as we fly around the CN Tower. I no longer have a subscription to the service where I got this stock footage from, so we're going to have to find some new videos. Kenneth says I can't find live feeds on YouTube from Ottawa. Ottawaks, I don't know. There's a bunch of people doing it. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out on Friday. I hope you, on Friday, today, yeah, I'm not drunk, but I might as well be. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for having a frank chat and putting up with me. Thanks for all your support. Thank you to our mods. Thank you to the Ottawa Wanderer, Lisa Palmer. Take care, Johnny. I am playing a lot of music now. Will you play some music on your channel for all of us to see? Or are you just pressing play on Spotify? Do you still use Spotify? Are you on Team Neil Young or Team Joe Rogan? These are all comments we will not discuss on the Johnny Strides channel. But thank you, Lisa Palmer, for your support. Whereas Perry is a fan of Ottawaks, showing the people how it is. Good night,
Take care,
guys.
Johnny, I am playing a lot of music now.
Thank you, Lisa. Stay safe, stay warm. Like I said, there's a 50% chance I'll stream tomorrow. If not, I will stream Sunday night, hopefully on Stumbles. Notice how I slide in, hopefully, before the Super Bowl. And then randomly. But I got to get uploading one of the videos that I'm going to play tomorrow. So stay warm, stay safe. And as always, I will catch you on the next one. Yoink.